I've always described my brain as thinking 1,000 thoughts every second, and it's never really been a bad thing. It lets me think fast and process ideas and analyze things either now or later. But when it comes to filmmaking and my creativity, I find that there's often such a long way from idea to final video that a lot of my ideas never really get a chance. I find that if I don't act on an idea almost immediately, there's a chance that I start switching into logic instead of creativity, and the videos just don't turn out as good when I do that. The main struggle I've had for a long time is that I don't have a good place to write down my notes and capture my ideas immediately. And I've tried Notion, which was the productivity platform to use a couple of years ago. But the main problem with that was that while it had all the functionality, it was incredibly slow to load when I tried to use it on my iPhone. Then I kept coming back to Apple Notes, mainly because I can easily use it across my MacBook, iPad, and iPhone. And yes, I'm deeply stuck into the Apple ecosystem, but I just found that it was an easy way to use it across all my devices and be able to capture the ideas fast, which is what was the main problem with Notion. But I ran into another problem with Apple Notes, and that is that it's mainly just text. And while it was great to jot down ideas fast, it quickly ended up being a mess of text and just walls of text that were easy to capture when I was writing it down, but then very difficult to translate into actual ideas and videos afterwards. I've tried a lot of other apps, but the main problem with those was that I had to subscribe and pay a monthly subscription for it to work across all my devices. And I wasn't really committing to that. I'm not earning the most as a creator at the moment, and adding another subscription to my business is just another thing that takes away from what I can spend on eating and living. And I honestly haven't been able to find the perfect solution until now. And while I've known about Milanote for a long time, and this video is not sponsored, this is just my opinion, they're not paying me anything, I always came across that it was a subscription. As I said, I don't earn that much money, so a subscription wasn't really something I wanted to add. But at the end of 2024, so a couple of months ago, I decided I wanted to revamp my business. I wanted to simplify everything, and I needed a place where I could build a mind map and I could build upon that afterwards. A tool that would make it easy to capture my ideas and then slowly start organizing it in a good way. And Apple Notes just didn't cut it for that. So I went into Milanote, I deleted everything that I had in there from previous things that I've tried out, and used my 100 cards to start building out my business plan and my ideas. And it turned out to be amazing for that exactly. And I got a lot more structure and a lot more organization around my ideas and my business in that way. And the more I used Milanote, the easier the decision started to become in terms of getting the subscription. So I did it. I pulled the trigger. And as I said already, it made the decision easier and easier the more I used it. But there was one thing in particular the other day that just made it all click. We're moving back to Europe in a couple of weeks, and my full-time creator business is just not making enough money that I can cut it there. So I need to find a job, and I would love for that to be in the creative space still. So I decided to subscribe, and I started building out a mind map for a show reel that I wanted to make. So I can reach out to agencies and creative businesses and just show what I can do, show my portfolio in a way that both combines what I've done with YouTube and Instagram, but also the freelance projects I've been doing for the last 3 years. And instead of just browsing through hard drives that I would normally do and try to find all the projects that I've done, I started finding them but pulling them into a mind map and a brainstorm in Milanote, and it just made so much more sense than what I've been doing before. So instead of trying to drag in footage and start browsing through it, I could just get a visual overview of what it actually is that I've done and what I'm the most proud of, what looks the best. And also just seeing all of that visually represented before I started making the video just gave me a little bit more confidence in what I've actually been making, because it actually genuinely, I think, looks good when I pulled it in there. So that was a great way of trying to organize things a little bit better. And that goes even further, because this video I've also scripted in Milanote, and I started finding out that they have these templates, and you probably already know that if you're familiar with Milanote. But I'm always hesitant when it comes to template, just because I don't want to start deleting all the stuff, and sometimes they don't work the best for me. But this video in particular, I just took YouTube script as a template, and I started organizing it and just pulling in some images that could just give me a reference of what I was actually thinking when I was writing the different sections, and being able to pull it all around in a free format and make a shot list above it and just structure it the way I wanted based on the template that I pulled in. it just made so much more sense, and it's just made it so much easier to make this video and probably videos in the future as well. I really feel like it's a canvas where I can put my ideas in, and again, it's not sponsored. I just genuinely thought this was an interesting video, an interesting topic to talk about, because it's something that I've struggled a lot with for a long time, and I feel like it helps me to put my ideas into videos or make them happen faster than what I would normally do when I just have a bunch of notes or a bunch of unscripted things that it's just difficult to organize for me. So if there's one thing that I've learned the last few years, it is that if I prepare and plan my videos more, even though I find that that's the most boring part, it makes it so much easier, both when I'm recording, but also just editing and color grading everything. A little bit more preparation just makes the rest of the process much smoother, instead of that being a struggle and that being what takes the longest time. So I genuinely think Milanote is a great software for that, and if you needed that extra video to push you over the edge and maybe do it yourself, if you've been on the fence, then maybe this is it. Again, it's not sponsored, there's no affiliate link or discount code. Maybe you can find that somewhere else. I didn't find one myself. I just subscribed to the monthly plan and I've been super happy with it since. So we'll see if this is just a honeymoon phase or if this continues to grow in that way. But so far I've been very, very stoked with it. So yeah, that was it. Just a little bit of a random video, I guess, but I had this idea and I just wanted to make it. So until the next time, take care.